19 variant BA.2.86 is now in the Buckeye State. According to the Department of Health, the first case was found in Lorain County. CDC saying this variant.
We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. United States, but in Canada and other parts of the world. We've never seen this much fire. And while we're dealing with this latest extreme weather event, I remain laser focused on recovering and rebuilding efforts in Maui. Being laser focused.
The change can be shaped by us.
Christianity and Christians not being saved or being true Christians, and to run around judging people and giving Christianity a bad name. And I don't run around professing to everybody I'm a Christian, and a lot of people are surprised later. And I meet these people who are Christian and they kind of snub me off because they think I'm not. Sometimes I'm not all of them are that way, right? But the ones that do, and I laugh because I sit there and watch them do all this stuff that's sin, all kinds of stuff. They think they're above people. They got pride, they're judgmental, and they're doing all kinds of stuff that, it's just, Christians, the thing is, Noah's yelling, that it's not flood anymore. The world's not going to be taken by flood anymore. It's going to be taken by fire. But you put it in in the perspective of Noah, of the days of Noah. Here we are in the days of Noah, just like it said we would be. Okay, except this time it's being taken by fire. But Noah's yelling, hey, the rain's coming, it's starting to rain, and everybody's laughing at him. Well, Christians alike, how many people back in that day thought they were saved or whatever, and damn these people. Gosh. Anyway, it's disturbing to me. There's another thing. Bikers aren't bikers anymore. Everybody's fake. Everything's fake anymore. These days, here's one subject I was going to get into is, I don't know. And we can jump into all kind of rabbit holes right now, but just people are fake. People aren't, being a biker, everybody thinks they grab a motorcycle and now they're a biker. And the truth is, most of them got it and they leave them parked most of the time, and they run out once in a while to ride it to work, once in a while to ride it. Anyone that knows me around here, I was, from the day it was warm enough to the day it was too cold, I was on that bike only, nothing else. I was a biker. It wasn't about the women. And, I had my whole life of being a biker, I've had 5 women on the back of my bike. My whole life, Meanwhile, these dudes, they're getting these, that's the thing. If you want me to give you the secret to picking up chicks, there's two, and this is stupid, but it's funny and it's real. If there's two things, but you gotta be real about it. You want to get chicks, you know, because the women are just as bad as the men, and that's what's wrong with this world. It's some of what's wrong with this world, right? And all you gotta do is get a motorcycle. That's the truth, right? And a lot of these dudes know that, and they're getting these motorcycles, and they're even married dudes, whatever, and they're all like, you know, them picking up chicks and whatever, and you know, that's not what being a biker is about. But that's what most of them are doing these days, and they're doing it for the attention they get, and it's so sickening. And here I'm hardcore and real, and I can't ride, you know. It sucks, but it sucks to me almost everywhere I go anymore, because everybody's fake. It's hard to find real bikers that get it anymore, what the real thing is about, and the honor that's within that used to be within that. And I'm not talking, you know, there's always been misled bikers, but I'm not talking about all the, you know, yeah, there's a lot of shit that goes on there that, you know, but just who you are anyways. And, you know, that's what, men aren't men, Christians aren't, you know, people are fake. Everybody is everybody. This world is like this because everybody is acting the same, and nobody's got enough balls, or no men have enough balls to stand up and be different and be a man, and women don't have enough whatever to, you know, stand up and be a real woman anymore. And this is true, and I'm sorry if it offends anyone, but, you know, so I'll get into this, you know, this, I'm not a saint, of course, right? And at this time, for a while now, for months now, you know, long before they kicked me out of my house, long before I became a homeless man, you know, my life was already just in a bad spot. Nothing was good for me, and I was in a bad spot, like the picture of a loser, right? And whatever, I'm not, it's just the truth, right? Everything, what, you know, there's no way certain situations should happen for me, right? And this is what, so people that want to question God and question the devil, and if any of that's real, and that's my second way to tell you. So the ones that, I have no respect for the ones that, they want to pick up chicks, so they, you know, use the bike to do it, you know. It's stupid, whatever. I guess you do that, that's fine, but if you're going to just leave it parked the rest of the time in the garage, why don't you let me borrow it, and I'll put the miles on there for you, and you can tell everybody you put the miles on, I don't care. And I'm teasing about that. I only ride my own. I rode only, last time I rode somebody else's bike, it's a Yamaha, and, you know, he's not with us anymore. I miss that dude. Anyway, I just go all over the place. Where was I? So, right, and then certain situations shouldn't be happening for me. So that's the second way. You want to pick up chicks. Well, then you just make a deal. But the problem is, you're going to screw yourself if you only do it for that, you know. But you just, you know, make a deal with yourself, between you and God, about you're wanting to live right, and you know, the parts of that's temptation that you shouldn't be doing right now. You make a vow to that, and I guarantee you the devil's listening to your prayers. You know, no matter what you're praying, the devil's listening to your prayers. And a lot of times we're thinking they're answered prayers, and it's the devil sneaking in on you, right? But anyways, you know, I'm just saying this because there's certain dive I've taken about myself and certain things. I'm trying to, it's not like I'm not judging anyone who ain't being like me or whatever, but certain situations shouldn't happen, but you know, so how do I know? Because they just shouldn't happen, right? I shouldn't have had several situations throw themselves at me, you know, present. You know, there's one or two situations that happen that are understandable because they're people that already know me. You know, I'm talking between me and females, right? And I don't really know how to say this because I'm not at the moment trying to have, I'm checking myself out. I'm trying to make sure what I'm doing is right and stuff like that. So I'm not like trying to pursue anything, I guess, right? And the thing is that so there's one or two situations that they're understandable, or that people showing some interest. It's understandable because they knew me before, and it's like and maybe kind of sort of showed interest before my situation got the way it was. So it's like that could be authentic because they know me. They know a little bit about me, that that I'm not really this loser. I hope. Right? But otherwise, there's been several, and I'm not saying there's just really recent, but several for a while now, for a few months now, things, but because things going on with me, I took this dive, and I'm trying to do right and try to, on all areas of my life, right? And anyways, just some unbelievable stuff gets thrown right at you. Like stuff like, there was a time in my life like, why couldn't this happen, right? And I mean, it's some of them, there's, once upon a time I might, yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, like, there's some, and then you got to wonder about women, period. And I'm not trying to point the finger at women. It's men and women. It's all of us are, but you got to, because it's like a thing was presented to me once, like, oh, you just, and I was like, I don't know how to say it, but I was, it was just thrown at me, and like, the chick was very hot, and I'm like, yeah, but no thanks, and it was hard. It was, yeah, it was hard to make that choice, right? Because I could, and it was like, it's one of those things that, let's face it, the world's fucked up like that. It was like, this person didn't even know me, and right now, she, it was whatever, come on, shouldn't have been, but, but I'm like, oh, well, there's Satan throwing temptation at me every which way I turn, because it happened like similar, like 3 times, not somebody different, And then there's a couple of situations where, and this is where I'm getting into the whole Christianity thing. And there's, and I'm not trying to, it's happened like 2 to 3 times, different, and it's crazy, when, and I talk, and I say, okay, I'll give an example. So a while back, whatever, somebody was showing interest in me. We're hanging out a little bit, and but I was being honest. I was like, I'll just get to know you a little bit. We'll be friends. I'm not, trying for nothing right now, right? And I'm gonna be honest about that, because otherwise, that means you're trying for something here. You're wanting something out of this, and I'm not, and that's going to cause a situation. So, and if I don't feel connect, and there's my problem spiritually, if I don't feel this kind of connection, then, or I'm not feeling sure about it, then I shouldn't be sticking it in you, right? For real. And that's the thing is here, what we don't realize is, if you when that happens, that's a spiritual level thing there, and people don't realize it's not what it is anymore. Nothing's what, like, the words don't mean nothing anymore, and people don't realize all this stuff, what it means, and what you're attaching to your soul. And we're at a point in life now, and we're at the end, it could be whatever, and people don't want to see that, but we are. And so we got to get a grip on this stuff, and we got to be doing what's right, and if that's what we want, if not, if you think hell's a place that's going to be a big party, we'll go on. And I'm going to do another video on why I'm afraid to go to hell, why I don't want to go to hell, and I'm going to do a video on that later too. We'll talk about that, and maybe I'll help you see it my way. But I'm not judging you or whatever. You can do whatever you want, but as for me, I don't. And if you're one of those trying to say you're a Christian and trying to claim you're saved when you're really not, you need to get a grip. Because here's what I'm getting at. So I'm talking to this lady, and I'm not gonna, women don't cease to amaze me these days, and you can call them some names, certain ones, and they deserve it, really, right? That's just what it is. Men as well, But the thing is, we're as we get to know each other, we're talking stuff, and it's like you're claiming you're Christian, and now I gotta be careful because this has happened at least twice, 2 different people, right? And I know the one person does watch my videos, and we still talk because it went down smoothly, it went down fine. But the other person I know doesn't say a word to me anymore because they took it the wrong way, and they maybe didn't take it. I said what I had to say, right? And pretty much I made them probably not feel good about themselves, and I didn't mean for it to get to like that, but it did, right? And the thing is, you're supposed to be a Christian, and I tell you, I say, okay, so things are going, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not beyond anything, and I'm not, I'm a man, and I need it, right? I'm beyond needing it at this point, and whatever, right? But I gotta do right by myself for one thing, and so it can't be just anybody, right? And there's got to be that connect, and it's got to be right or whatever. But anyways, so it starts to get to that point, like, she, whatever, and not believe, people not believing that. So she starts coming on to me, and I say, okay, hold on, this is going to the point that I don't want to go to. I can't. And I give my reasons, and I start, talking about it, but she's already previously said she's Christian, right? And I'm like, so as I give my reasons, and it's like, where have the roles reversed here? It's like what is it, Billy Joe or whatever, who is it? This song, Only the Good Die Young. He's trying to talk the virgin out of her virginity, right? It's like the roles are reversed. Like, I'm certainly no virgin, I'm certainly no saint, and I'm certainly not beyond heaven, right? You could almost talk me into it. But the thing is, and I'm like trying to give my reasoning, and she starts reasoning me with, like I said, I gotta be careful because this has happened more than once. So I'm not talking about anyone that could be watching this, but there's someone that got pissed, and so I'll use that as the example. But starts reasoning with me why it's okay, and starts trying to give me biblical reasons why it's okay that we just do our thing, right? And you could almost persuaded me until you pulled that out, and because then it's like, do you think this? And I'm like, hold on, stop right there, because I'm just and I set her straight where she was wrong, and whatever, but and we could have still remained friends or whatever. That's fine. I'm not, and that wasn't me being judgmental, and I understand it could be taken that way, but because the way I answered back about, like, now I'm getting defensive because now you're trying to give me biblical, trying to give me some kind of reason. Like, no, there's no biblical reason that you and I don't hardly know each other, and we're not really got the right connection, and we're just gonna, that it's not right. I mean, you could have maybe persuaded me, right? But you talked me into what I could have talked myself into it until you start fucking going there, and that's where I'm talking about Christians. And it's not just in that manner. I see a lot of Christianity stuff, but I'm using an example, a serious example, because are we to say that, oh, well, that commandment don't matter? Well, then, no commandment is better than the rest. So why don't I feel like, man, it's been a while. Why don't I go stab somebody today, right? Next week, once a week, I need to get my stabbing on, start stabbing some people. Why? Killing people. You know what I'm saying? Well, once in a while, what's the occasional? You know what? It's the thing is, we got to start taking ourselves serious on everything. On lying, cheating, stealing. All those things that aren't right. And there's Christians that are doing these things, and they pacify themselves and give themselves excuses and excuse themselves. Well, you're not saved then. You're saved when, there's a lot of people that think, oh, well, I watched so-and-so on TV, on YouTube, or whatever, Joel Osteen, whoever, these fakes, the women, a lot of them, is it Joyce Meyer or whatever her name is, and these people are learning this kind of stuff, that this and that's okay. God's gonna not care about that. This and that's more important. Prosperity and money is more important, and it's wrong, and they're liars, and they're cheating you out of heaven. They're cheating you out of what God wants you to have. And I'm not here to preach to nobody, but I mean, this one's about the Christianity, and I'll give my views there, and because it matters to me that if you want. You can choose what you want to do. You don't care if you go to hell, then go to hell. I don't care, right? But if you're going to tell me you're a Christian, then I'm going to point out where your Christianity is wrong. And I'm not saying I'm above anybody. I'm not saying I don't got to look at myself anytime. There's a lot of times I do. But the thing is, we got to understand that. Okay, now I'm not saying that this person should feel horrible that something was about to go down between us, right? Oh, and that I responded the way I did. It's all good, and it's the thing is, once you take it to that level, now you can't. Now you just threw it in my face that first I tried to say I'm trying to do what's right. Now you threw it in my face. Now you made me have to throw it in my face about God's word right in my face, and that I have to stand strong on that. What I believe, and because of that, now I can't say no. There's no way this is going, because, whatever, and that's what it takes. And Christians aren't being strong on themselves, and they're, letting stuff go. There's Christians out there like Christian dating sites. What sense does that make? Just, what sense does any of the dating sites make anyway? I mean, I can tell you stuff about that. You see these people. I did go on one once just to get a knack for the kind of people that's on there, because you see these people some of them are on your Facebook and stuff, and they're like, 1 minute they're, I'm gonna focus on me. They set themselves up for the players. That's what the women aren't doing right, and the men aren't doing right. And so let me, hold on. Okay, so you see them on there. I mean, you can see these people, and they're like, 1 minute they're like, I'm going to take time to myself and find out who I am, because, I don't, and next thing, then 5 days later, they got on there, and here they are on a date with whoever, and then fucking by the end of the weekend, they're bitching about they got played. You set yourself up for it. And, truthfully, is because that's what you want. If you didn't want it, you'd change your life, right? And, so now back up to my situation. I was strong so far. So far I've been very strong. It's very hard. I'm not trying to say I'm great for it or anything, but it's a very hard road to take. And then you got to realize when it's Satan tempting you, or when it's something that's real, when God's throwing it there, or Satan tempting you. And right now Satan's tempting me hard on a lot of different things, because he's like, no,
We're going to get you to go back. We're going to back you off. We're going to get you to get off path like you have before.
you know, and I'm not, you know, so it's hard. It's a hard road, very hard road, the narrow path, and it's a lonely one, right? But my point, okay, so we talk about women not having respect for themselves, but where's the men having respect for themselves too? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's women are as much players and as much just trying to be easy, you know, and get easy peace just as much as the men are. You see, when you get out there, you find out, you know, but and they're just liars about it, right? And men are just as bad as being not respecting themselves and giving it out wherever, you know. It's both roles. When women want to paint men in this direction and men want to paint women in this direction, when really both roles, men and women are acting this way and men and women are acting this way, and we're all a part of the problem until we want to face it and make ourselves be strong enough to change our life, you know. Depending what it is, not just sexual stuff or nothing, you know, it's all different things. Like I said, lying, cheating, stealing, whatever, you know, honoring your parents, you know, honoring God, doing what's right, you know, and honoring your fellow man, you know, being honorable to them. But so, you know, men aren't respecting themselves. You know, and I can't say all of this is new stuff about me. I respect myself. Because of stuff I've been involved in life, I've been the blunt of a lot of rumors, right? And people assume this or that about me, but the people who really know me know the truth. And yeah, could I have been? There's a lot of stuff I could have done and didn't, you know, whatever. But I've always respected myself because, you know, I don't want to get too involved about sexual conversations or whatever, right? But I know I'm not tooting my own horn or whatever, but what I do is good. What I got is good, you know what I'm saying? And the reason for that is because I'm not giving it out everywhere. And, you know, so you hear men talk about what, right? But you hear women talk about they want good dick too, right? And so they're just as bad as when they're around their women, then they talk like that. And if you're around a group of them and you're not dating any of them, you'll hear how they talk, you know what I'm saying? But well, if you want that, then you got to get a man that's, you know, whatever. It's not the number of people, you know, I don't give it to just everyone. That's because that's why it's good. And that's not the only reason why, you know, because I consider what I'm doing, you know what, and, you know, if I'm not into you, you're not getting it, I suppose, right? And because I'm into you, for one. And it's because, you know, I thought you know, I think it's the same the other way around. I think I'm going to get the same respect the other way around. And so I expect, you know, whatever. And that's why, I don't know. The thing is, men aren't respecting themselves and they want to run out and give it everywhere. And they, you know, and so do the women though. And they're being all the same. And you know, everybody's saying they want to live right and they're not trying to. And it's time we start looking at what's going on, and it's time we start, you know, if we're friends with these people, we got to start telling them, you know, if, you know, I'm not, like I say, I'm not trying to say I'm holier than thou. I have my own sins, and I'm not trying to say that in 5 minutes after done shooting this that I might end up whatever. It's all there, you know what I'm saying? It's a hard road not to, and it's and I'm not trying to say that that's my whole thing, is I'm trying not to do that, you know, any specific thing. I'm trying to do what's right, and I just, I don't know, whatever. But fake Christians, and you know, I don't want to go on and on about that specific situation. It's different situations like that, you know. I used to work with a dude that was, he's Christian. You know, I'm not trying to say somebody's not a Christian. They are, but they're misled a little bit. Some of the stuff he would talk about and the way he would be was not very Christian. And some of it's not even stuff you think about sinning. Some of it, they're very good people, and you don't think they're sinning or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. This world now, a lot of things that are sin aren't. Everything that's wrong is considered right, and everything, you know, everything that's right is considered wrong. And that's where we're at in this world. And how did it get here? Because people are not standing true to themselves. Men are not the United States, men are not being men, right? Like, I throw this thing out there about, you know, all this started over a tax on tea, right? That's when men were men, you know. They stood up for their values and they put their life on the line for it. And you know what? And they weren't shamed for being masculine. But the same goes for women. Women aren't women anymore either. Everyone's fake. And so what are you involved in that maybe you're not fake? I'm not, you know, maybe you specifically aren't. But what are you involved in that you can look around and see all the fakeness around you? It's fake. Everything's fake. Everything's vain. And that's more for later. But I just wanted to, you know, that was just one example. These Christians need to get their shit straight, you know, because they're running around pointing the finger at what they call sinners, and a lot of people's pointed the finger at me, and they don't even know what my beliefs are and how I'm living my life. But because they see me participate in something over here or there, they think I'm automatically all of this and that. And you know what? That's between me and God, and whatever you're doing is between you and God. But I'm just saying, if you're considering yourself a Christian, you better take a good hard look at what God's really saying, and not what the rest of the Christians are being accepting of you living your life as. Okay? There's a lot of stuff going on that Christians try to stay away from that really ain't all that bad, as long as they keep control of themselves. But then there's stuff going on that is bad, and they're every bit taking a part of it. And that's what I'm talking, you know, there's different situations, different things. But that's one thing that's wrong with this world, and that's how we got here. You know, the Christians are too afraid to stand up. They're too afraid. You know, I'm sorry to tell you, but here we are. We're in God's war. It's time for you to be one of his soldiers. You know, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. God needs soldiers. Okay, he don't need all of you to cower over here while you're still committing all your sins. He needs you to stand up, face yourself, and say, yes, I'm going to do everything I can, the best I can. And you know what? When you're truly saved, it's not when, like I said, it's not when the person comes on here and tells you to say a prayer, Jesus, come into my life, and now you're saved. It don't work that way. Yes, that is, you got to make that choice to do that, but you also got to make the choice to actually open yourself to him. And when you do that, you're going to do what's right over what's wrong. Most of the time, you do your best to do that. And when you do mess up, you'll understand that it's not, you know, it's not that you're not going to mess up, but you'll do more to make it right, you know. And then we'll get in more to the men not being men later. I already said I was going to touch base on the Christianity part. So, but that's what's wrong with this world. Everybody's fake, and nobody's holding true to their values. And Christians, for a big part, are, and you see a big movement happening within the towards Christianity. And the thing is, a lot of that's going to be deceived. And, you know, if you're accepting Jesus into your life, then you better ask him to help you not be deceived and help you to see the error of your ways. Because a lot of Christians are claiming to be saved, and they're bigger sinners than the ones they're judging. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll hopefully come up with a better... I have a few things I want to hit on what's going on in the world today, lately. and then hopefully give an update. My update for my situation at the current time is still don't got my stuff. I gotta wait. I'm not allowed to know where it's at. Gotta wait until this vendor can meet with me. So whatever, still at rock bottom. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll come up with some I keep saying that, but thanks. Don't forget to like, share, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, and there's about anything, and certain subjects you want to touch base on. Let me know. Talk to you later.